Today's video is all about exploring color aesthetics and color harmony. A lot of people ask me about how I choose my colors. It's like probably the most asked question I get. And of course, I made a video, which I'll link right here, about how I make choices for colors. I talked a little bit about color theory in that video. But today I want to talk a little bit about your aesthetic response to colors. And that just is a fancy way of saying that you have a particular interest in certain colors and color combinations that you like. And finding that sometimes takes a little bit of exploration. So today, using our PDF printable from our Patreon, we're going to walk through some of these exercises so that you can do them for yourself and you can determine what your aesthetic response to color is and find a color scheme and a color palette that really speaks to you for your particular work. So I'm going to walk you through how I do this, how I work through some of these worksheets, and then I'll put the ball in your court so that you can try it at home as well. I hope you enjoy this. Let me know how it goes and let me know if you have any questions. Permanent red, ultramarine blue, permanent lemon, white, black, and viridian green. I think I should like clean my palette just a little bit. I had the worksheets for the PDF already printed, and then I have these basic colors here. I have a few brushes, and of course I have water handy. We're going to try with just these colors so we can really experiment and explore. And the whole goal of the Color Harmony Exploring Combos PDF printable was to think a little bit about how we like color, the kind of colors that you see and you enjoy, and determine what color schemes you want for your work. So of course I started with a color wheel, and I have printed this on watercolor paper. I got this very cheap pack of watercolor paper from the dollar store. So I took some of these sheets out and I printed on my printer. I don't think it's necessary, but I just wanted to have some thicker paper to paint on. I think you can definitely do this on regular paper. Just remember that if you're using regular paper, you don't overwork the paper. We have the color wheel. We have a color aesthetics worksheet. Here we can just think about the colors that we like together. I think this might be best if we kind of do this closer to the end, maybe after we've looked at some colors together, and then we can determine the colors we think look good. So that I'm gonna hold on to. And then these are just some exercises to practice putting colors together. I think it'll be kind of nice to experiment with different ones together and see how they look. And with these little patterns, you have an area to kind of like arrange them. I did print this on watercolor paper as well. I did that for all of them. So I'm gonna start with my color wheel. So let's get going. always start with the primary colors. And they're already labeled for you in the correct order. But if you're not that familiar with a color wheel yet, you should understand or learn why they are in the order that they're in, because this will speak to the relationships that colors have to each other. So the three that we begin with are the primary colors. These are the three colors that we use to make all the other colors. They are red, blue, and yellow. Once you have these three primaries, we can start to mix our own colors. So from here we're able to mix these two colors together to form the one that goes in the middle. The placement of the three primary colors are equidistant, and that just means we need 3 spaces between each of those 3. So I'll take a little bit of the blue and I'll take a little bit of the red and I'll mix them together. We're looking for a violet. So I think I had too much red there. We'll try this again. There's a lot of blue, although that's looking almost there. And try to take so little of this red. You don't need too much. I already feel like I took too much. Oh, that's better. Right there, we're getting to the middle. So I think we're almost there. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so right in the center, we have violet. This is red and blue mixed together. Now when we mix 2 primaries, we get a secondary color. Violet is a secondary color. Okay, let's do the same for orange and green. Those are our 3 secondary colors. And now we just need to mix these 2 to form the ones that are missing in the center. So these 2 for this one, blue and violet, will give us blue violet. Violet and red will give us red violet. So I have my violet here. I'll just add a little bit more blue to what I have there. It's nice to have a nice pile, but you know, as we mix our own, it's good to mix your own, but once you're done mixing your own, if you want to, You can use the colors that you have in your toolbox if you have them. So you can use violet and then mix it with a little bit more blue. So I have to make a little bit more violet so that I can mix them together. So I think this needs a little bit more blue now to make it into blue violet. And then I'll do the same thing for the red violet. So usually I'll just take that blue violet and I'll mix a lot more red into it so that I can bring it back to neutral and then beyond neutral. So I'm going from this back to violet and then even beyond that for our red violet color. Probably a teeny bit more blue here. Kind of like a winey color right now. Maybe needs a hair more blue. Now the reason why we start with a color wheel is because it's going to help us to see all the other color relationships. So you could buy a color wheel and you will have it there, but you can also just make your own. Okay, so now that all my colors are placed and it's pretty dry, I definitely like to take some notes here so I can recall all the important information here. So we can see the colors really easily, right? But some of the things that we want to identify are the different color harmonies. So I like to put like a little letter here, red, just in case they're kind of got covered up. Red, orange, orange, yellow, orange, yellow, yellow, green, green, blue, green, blue, blue, violet, violet, and red violet. And then we can already tell that these are triadic colors. So I'm just going to mark it in here. This is a tetrad. These are analogous. Oh, I'm sorry. These are not analogous. These are complementary. And these right here, all of these, so from here to here, this whole section, those are analogous. And then over here, we have the aesthetic response to color. So for this one, I suggest that you paint each of these sections with complementary colors. And I do have 3 sections for it because I think it's a good idea for you to try different colors. So not only will you have complementary colors that are directly across from each other like this, right? So red, violet, and yellow, green, for example, or red and green, or orange and blue. But you can also try taking orange and blue and then combining your orange with white, black, or gray, and your blue with black, white, or gray. Those will create different versions of orange, and those will also still be within that complementary color scheme. So we're doing complementary colors here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint through this. I'm gonna try it and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so you can see that I have used only reds and greens here for this one, and just by painting this and mixing lots of different versions of them, I've come to realize some colors that I think really look great together. Like I like these 2 right here. I like these 2 here. I like those 2 there. And so through this exercise, the goal is to start to identify some of our own preferences in color and to identify what our aesthetic response to color is. I'm gonna go ahead and finish painting this one. For this one, I'm gonna try a new color, complementary color scheme. So maybe I'll try blue and orange, and then you can also open up your options to be anything that lands in that color family. So let's do orange and blue next. So I'm gonna pick this color. It's already got some orange in it. And I can try mixing that with some white and some black or gray. And we need something blue to complement it. So I think I'm going to do something like this one, pale aqua. I can use that one. I do like these two colors together. I've used them many times. And maybe even some of this Liquitex Bright Aqua Green, because it does look like it has blue in it. Try that one more time. On to the next one. For this one, we're going to do triadic colors. And remember that triads are colors that are equidistant on the color wheel. So the primary colors are triadic because there's 3 spaces between them. So are the secondary colors. They are triadic. But you can pick any 3 colors as long as there are 3 spaces between them. So if I really, really want to do blue-green, then I can count 1, 2, 3, red-violet, 1, 2, 3, yellow-orange. And again, I can choose any colors that I feel like look yellowish, orangey, any colors that look red-violet-ish. It has some red, it has some violet in it, and anything that has blue-green. So I'm going to do triadic right here, and I'll go ahead and do one of these. So these are Triadic colors. I don't know how I feel about these yet, so let's go on to the next one. This one is for Tetradic colors, which means 4 colors equidistant apart. So if we look again at our square here, blue green, we're looking at the corners. Blue green, yellow, red orange, and violet are all part of a tetrad. So you can use those 4 colors and any variations on them for the tetradic one. I hope you really enjoyed that process. If you just got a chance to watch it, I think it's a good idea to try it for yourself. I think you'll find that this can be a very fruitful lesson and something that helps you to learn about how you respond to color in your own particular way. So hopefully this will help to inspire and influence the way that you make your work. And I hope you'll try this at home. Until next time, happy drawing.